have argued Nutriloaf is so disgusting that serving it in prison violates Americans' constitutional rights. Now, in order to understand such legal claims, we need to take a closer look as to what Nutriloaf actually is. Let's start with the name. You can learn a lot from a name. Look at half as interesting. In just 3 words, I'm telling you right off the bat that you should probably be doing something else. The name Nutriloaf is also quite telling. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, hey, anything that starts with Nutra must be good to eat, right? Well, tell that to all the people who died swallowing their NutriBullet blenders. In this case, Nutriloaf, or as some call it Food Loaf, Meal Loaf, or The Loaf, does technically count as edible, and technically it does have the nutrients to sustain life, but whether or not that really makes it food is another question. So what exactly is inside of a Nutriloaf, you ask? Well, that depends on your local correctional facility's home recipe, but as a general rule, there's a lot of foods in a food loaf. In Ohio, the recipe calls for salad, spaghetti with tomato sauce, green beans, white bread, a chocolate chip cookie, and a cup of coffee, milk, or Kool-Aid to bind it. But like flags, educational achievement, and opinions on the Civil War, Nutriloaf recipes vary from state to state. In Illinois, correctional facility cooks replaced Ohio's cookies with a milder sweetener of applesauce mixed with breadcrumbs and garlic powder. No matter what the combination, you just throw it all in a bowl, then blend, shape, and bake it into a loaf form, and boom, you've got a Nutriloaf. This isn't your mom's meatloaf, your grandma's malt loaf, or your dad's meatloaf. This is Nutriloaf, a hunk of compressed kitchen trash that looks like it was cooked by a rat. And not a talking Pixar animated rat, just like a rat. Now, considering how cheap and easy a food like the loaf is to make, you're probably thinking that prisons started dishing loaf to keep food costs down, but good news! You'll be relieved to know that, in fact, the Nutriloaf was designed in correctional test kitchens as a form of punishment. Oh, wait, that's not good news at all. You see, if a prisoner were to break the rules, become hostile, throw a lunch tray, take part in a pillow fight, start gossiping, reveal Downton Abbey spoilers, etc., they might be punished with the loaf, served without silverware, at room temperature, tasting like the food version of a tsunami, which supposedly would help deter future incidents and serve as punishment without causing bodily harm. Well, bodily harm beyond one's taste buds or ego, or sense of identity and self-worth, that is. And it is this purpose, as punishment, that got the room temperature loaf into hot water. The thing is, in the USA, we're having a kind of hard time figuring out where to draw the line with punishment. I mean, some of us are watching The Masked Dancer by choice, and the taste bud busting Nutriloaf has got caught up in the middle of this reckoning. In the past few decades, a host of legal cases have questioned if the loaf represents a violation of the 8th Amendment, which protects against cruel and unusual punishment. These court cases, usually at the state level, have gone both ways. Courts in some states like Arizona, Illinois, and Nebraska have ruled that the loaf is all